Hello and welcome to the show. Yes, it's The Paper Thing, Season 6, Episode 16. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Broken Bottle Boy, aka Mick Wright. Emerging from a door of pure light, it is the person in the room. Hello. We're gonna get this done in under an hour. We're gonna get this done in 45 sweet minutes. So let's get it done. Starting off, well, of course we're starting off with the Sun. Then it's going to be the Daily Mirror, then the Daily Mail, then the Times, then the Daily Mail. Burnzoid says, afternoon, my wife brought me mini eggs and I've eaten too many of them and I feel sick. Hoist by your own petard. And now I have to go and buy some mini eggs after the show.
For your wife.
For my wife. My wife. Hey, Slinkermeyer, how are you doing? Hello. Right. We're going to start with a cursed front page from the Sun. When is it ever not cursed? Is it as bad as the pie graph? The literal pie graph? No, but it's quite bad. The Sun, Sue Gray report. Cop probe into number 10 ABBA bash. Leadership failures. Blast. 300 photos sent to police. As I said yesterday on Twitter, I don't think there are 300 photos of my entire 38-year existence. And the headline, Mamma Mia, which of course they've done to go with the secondary headline, Mamma Ria, because Rihanna is going to have a baby, and there's a picture of her in her pregnancy photo shoot, freezing her bump off. So there we go. Yeah, water cover, says the research arena. C122, H122, how will this nervous breakdown unfold? Sort of like a glacial collapse of my sense of self, until finally I just become a gelatinous mass. C122, H122. Slinkermeyer, cop probe makes me feel icky, doesn't it just, Slinkermeyer? Panic Future, hello, how are you today? Good to see you. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3, model Jasmine Tookes wears a bikini because she's a model. Woman wears clothes. Also on page 3, only here for the woke beer. Real Ale Beardies in Diversity Drive. A beer group beloved by aging bearded blokes is going woke. Fuck off. I actually choked on that today. That's how shit it is. The campaign for Real Ale Cameras launched a diversity and inclusivity survey to be less pale, male and stale. The Sun obviously hates this because they should just remain entirely white, presumably. Tory MP Bob Blackman, yes, Tory MP Bob Blackman says, I've been a member of CAMRA since it started and I'm male, pale and grey. All sorts like drinking good beer. It's not a question of if you are male, female, black or white. His fellow Tory, Mike Wood, chairman of the Parliament pub group, said, like thousands of people across the country, I met my wife in a pub. A fussy image isn't good. The more people reached out and brought to the pub, the better. CAMRA said, we want everyone to feel welcome and safe. It's only by having a say that real change can be made. There we go. About time, CAMRA has a bunch of issues, says the Burnzoid. Slinkermeyer has redeemed Hydrate. Thanks for that. If you can hear cutlery, that's the kitchen downstairs being sorted out. Fluffweasel just had an advert for PayPal suggesting I explore the exciting world of cryptocurrency. Jesus Christ. Rylan Clark says he spent more money on his teeth than anything else in his early years of his career. I wish I had money spent on my teeth. They are fucked. Mike Wood is my local MP. Just ask him if he's going bald, says Chronotherm. Gladster, surely Mick's nervous breakdown will leave him curling in the corner just repeating coins, coins, coins. Yeah, it could happen. On pages 4 and 5, Sue Gray report slams number 10 lockdown parties. PM and Carrie face cop quiz. Just going to be showing pictures. Say, can you name this star of Line of Duty? As 300 photos examined. This is all just a fucking farce, man. It's just a oh, God. On pages 6 and 7, they dedicate it to Rihanna. Rihanna's Tumbrella is the appalling headline. And Tot of the Pops. Her first baby is just the latest chapter in Rihanna's astonishing rise to global fame, it says here. Manu rape quiz ace shunned. Greenwood is unfollowed by Ronaldo and pals. Ronaldo! There's a man who'd know, isn't it? Yo, SK, how you doing? On page 11, Strictly couple's first tiff. Handbags all ready for Nad and Kai. Luggage row at hotel. Why are you following private people around taking pictures? It's just pathetic. Who cares? Oh shit, he's lost Ronaldo. Imagine that, yeah. Trevor Kavanagh says, report damning, but not the end for PM. No, it'll be the end when the Sun says it is. Virus rap pod star vows for balance. Yeah, that's how the Sun describes Joe Rogan. Virus rap pod star. Planet Future, Manu rape quiz A shunned. Jesus fucking Christ, that headline made me sick. Yeah, it's just grotesque, isn't it? It's just grotesque. On page 13, Sing King Out Loud. Ed, most radio plays in world. Ed Sheeran is the most played artist on the radio in the world with 4.3 million spins in a year. Spins. And that is more proof, another sign of the coming apocalypse. Clemmy Moody says, it's good to talk mental health, not to cry wolf. Once upon a time, Brits were lauded for having a stiff upper lip. It's fucking horseshit. Fuck you. Right, Alfie Fiend free. Car seat top killer out of jail after just 2 years. The Sun again. Oh my god. Here's a nice picture of a lion to make us all feel a little bit better. The layout that he's called Tonga. On page 17, Signal and doze on job. Train bosses probe pics. Not another probe. Oh god. How do you solve a problem like Joe Rogan, says the Burnzoid. Chronotherm suggests 45 caliber. Sigmar, you are absolutely right. Stiff upper lip is why people on this normal island are fucking deranged. On page 21, Leonard Fenton, who played Dr. Leg in EastEnders, has died. He was 95. Hey Gonzo Socialism, how are you doing? On pages 22 and 23, Ulrika Johnson backs Sun campaign to educate kids about consent. A consent campaign from the Sun. 3 decades after sex attacker ignored my pleas for him to stop, I'm astounded that some people still don't know hashtag no means no. Is it good that there's a consent campaign in the Sun? Yes, if it will get through to some of its readers, but I doubt it will. Thank you, Gonzo. My tooth is fucked, to be honest, and I'm quite grumpy, but other than that, I'm alright. Page 25, Jezza pals sheepish. Jeremy Clarkson kisses girlfriend Lisa Hogan, and bashful farmhand Caleb Cooper doesn't know where to look. Fuck, who gives a fuck? Yeah, Heath Moore, no, irony died a long time ago, but the Sun doing a consent campaign. Blurst of times, the Sun doing a consent campaign. Is Murdoch gone woke? That would be very pleased about it. Justice for Cyprus gang rape victim. Brit wins false claim appeal. Again, this is a good story, but, you know, reported in the typically disgusting Sun way. Cara Delevingne said she might want children in an interview with Harper's Bazaar. Oti Mabusi says, I was fat-shamed and abused on Strictly by vile racist trolls. It took me years to get over it. And what a great place to talk about trolls, but the Sun, the biggest troll in the British media. A Burnzoid, I doubt it will, and also no means no isn't the best approach. It needs to include enthusiastic consent approach. Yeah, of course. But what do you expect from the Sun? Right, in the TV, they reviewed The Teacher featuring Sheridan Smith. They're being nice about Sheridan Smith now, after being really grim about her for weeks. Curious, that, isn't it? TV picks, BBC 3, X Radio 1, The Launch Party, BBC 3, 7pm. A Great British Menu on BBC 2. Gabby Petito, the murder that gripped the world, on Channel 5 at 10pm. And On Assignment, 10:45 ITV. Yeah, the Sun would know nothing about racism and trolls. Imagine that. Gonzo Socialism says, have followed the Cyprus case campaigners for a while. It's a big win and one of quite a few going through the courts right now. It is a big win and it's a great thing. But it's fucking disgusting it took as long as it did. Right, let's look at Dear Deirdre. Teenage son can't accept I'm marrying my new man. Okay. I suspect wife is seeing old flame. Binner. He won't have sex since we had baby. Oh, fucking hell. Rich exes make me feel inadequate. And upset at friends' racist remarks. Bin him. I love my friend, but struggle with him being a racist bigot. Why do you love him then? Family Daily. We had babies back to back, like Lauren. 2 mums on reality facing ex-Towie star. Oh God. The Batch Ladies recipes. Butternut squash and sweet potato soup. Spinach, pea and leek soup. Both look sort of fine. The £50 letter today. Is it made up or is it real? Let's see. Mike Bidewell writes. Boris Johnson seems to have acquired a second wind. Why else, in the midst of Partygate, would he stubbornly insist on going ahead with the increase in national insurance from April, especially given the current cost of living crisis? He's made bold and rash decisions as PM, but if this hated tax hike goes ahead, he may well discover it's the worst decision of his career. Could be real, could be fake. Don't write into the Sun with your problems. Correct. It's not trolling if you have a newspaper column, says the Burnzoid. Boris Johnson is only wins, says Selenkamaya. A very valid assessment. They're trying to sell you vacuum cleaners, various other tat. Would you like some ultimate comfort trousers from Chums? Chums Ultimate Comfort Trousers. Too good to miss at just £15 each. Chums. Curling king Bruce Moot heads to Beijing following a time-honoured tradition of getting his kit off. Isn't Chum a dog food? Chum is a dog food. Chums is a weird clothing company that my granddad buys clothes from, or at least used to. Chums. And on the back page, thanks for nothing. It's Alba and out on a free. Rebel striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang agreed a shock-free transfer to Barcelona after extraordinary few hours of deadline day negotiations. That was the Sun. Today's score for the Sun from me. Well, it's a classic quadruple negative nights. A very bad newspaper for very bad people. I added to the mid-term, fuck ugly. Yes, I did. Right, do you want to... Yeah, Boris is a media construct, that's correct. I wrote a thing a while back on the newsletter about how Boris doesn't exist, if you want to go back and check that out. And if you could, I'd really appreciate it if you could share today the newsletter that came out yesterday. There will be another one later, hopefully. This toothache has been stopping me in my tracks slightly. But yeah, please do share the newsletter if you can and you like it. Gonzo Socialism gives the Sun a negative nice ugly trousers, a quadruple negative nice from Slinkermeyer, quadruple negative nice from the Burnzoid, and minus Chums trousers from C122H122. Right, today's speed round is going to be the ever mediocre Daily Mirror. Oh, fucking hell, what happened there? Don't want to do that. Right. Why is it doing that? How curious. Okay, it wants to make the Daily Mirror really big. Whoop. Rotate the PDF, Mick. That's what I'm going to do. I've got to resize the PDF first. Transform. Look at that. He managed to rotate PDF. I guarantee you the next paper we put up is tiny now. Right, so Daily Mirror. The Mirror has always been a turb. It's gone even further downhill recently. PDF rotation champion. Yes! You don't get this quality on GB News, says Gledster. Yeah, don't worry. Friday's edition will be presented entirely by a very bad Churchill impersonator. Right, let's do this. Let's do this speed round through the Mirror. The Mirror in 1 minute. Let's do the 1 minute Mirror. Is it possible? Probably. This will be a new PB if I manage it. Better don't. Right, front page of the Mirror. Starting now. The Mirror has obviously gone with the Grey Report. Zero shame is their headline. Pretty obvious one. On page 3, it's Coochie Coo Koala Bear. Picture of a koala bear. Failure of leadership is what they say about Boris Johnson. They found a picture of him looking gormless. Not hard to do. Deeply damaged is what they say about the report says he is. A man with no shame. The more hate I get, the more reason to keep doing my job, says Osi Mbusi. Our baby's due, but we'll flee if Russia invades. More Ukraine propaganda. Storm causes havoc for lorries. Obviously, coverage of Rihanna's baby. Dr. Leg dying. World Cup winner signs for Shrewsbury pub side. That's Roberto Carlos. There's a huge puzzle section. Miriam Stoppard says it's important to know that men can get breast cancer too. It is. There's a picture of an octopus. In the TV review, they go over the Great British menu for their recommendation today. In finance, they say Ryanair's cheap flight fight back. And in the sport, Dele and Donny join Lampard revolution at Everton. That is an over and out. Albert and out for Arsenal. That was the Daily Mirror. A mirror in 1 minute. Boom. C122H122 says, do you know anyone who's good with computers, Mick? Well, person in the room does have a PhD in computer science, so yeah, probably. Blessed of times. The Mirror wants to talk about Zero Shame. Their Ryland hit piece the other day was pretty disgusting. It was. That the Sunday Mirror Ryland front page was a return to early noughties tabloid journalism, and they knew it, and the notion that the Mirror is any less reactionary than the Sun is horseshit. Right. Yes, a 1 minute run from the Mirror there. 2 minute PDF rotation challenge, this Fluff Weasel. If Ryland wants a bit of sniff, he should be allowed to do it in pieces, Gonzo Socialism. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's farcical, isn't it? It would... you know, if there's no public interest defence for that story. I'm the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. In the mod squad today is SK the Crusader. I'm sure he's got some good streams coming up, and we'll tell you what his next stream is in the chat. Also in the chat today, Albert Costello, hello, Aratrax, Blurst of Time, C122H122, Crawfish, Dr. Fayad, Fluff Weasel, Bledster, Gonzo Socialism, Heathmore 2401, JG Dawn, Cap 606, Chronotherm, Magic Dan 13, Panic Future, Rachology, Red Tick Seed, Rimastino, Seralna, Slinkermeyer, 1727, Spike Trap Claire, the Burnzoid, and VNK. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday show. Talking to you guys on a daily basis makes me feel considerably better about my life, funny enough. Dick Pendren says, hello Mick, this is my old friend, also to chat, to whom I've also come to talk again. Hey Dick, how you doing? Sorry I just missed you in the roll call there. SK's next stream is me trying to play Mini Motorways. SK, most of my work at the moment is writing up the next script. Always happy to take a look when you're done. Yeah, Gonzo Socialism, he was caught, says about Ryland, he was caught on video threatening mate if he didn't give him the gear, and again, to delete said video. Yeah, it was a joke. He was joking about saying, I'll fucking kill you if you don't delete it. That was a joke. And also Dick Pendren, yes, Dick Pendren, you are welcome, and you are included in the roll call. Right, newspaper box, let's change that to the Times. Time for the Times. Okay, look, it's done it again. It's gone tiny this time. Right, transform. Look at this. Look at the speed of this. Rotate. Counterclockwise. There we go. All right. Leave it tiny, says the Burnzoid. Red Tixied. Hey, I have you in the background whilst I do some scrubbing and cleaning. Scrubbing and cleaning is very important. It's not now what I do on Fridays when person in the room is in London. Fun life I lead. Right, the Times, front page. How to be fit, do the bare minimum. Brilliant. Already doing that, fantastic. Anna Murphy says, I was bitten by a pandemic puppy. Okay. Picture of Boris Johnson looking very like Boris Johnson. Police investigate PM's 4 lockdown parties. Count them. 4. Again, the whole thing is fucking farcical. The really big things that this government have done that are appalling. Making it easier to strip people of their citizenship. Trying to make it so that GRT people have their way of life completely removed. The immigration and the immigration bill. All of this kind of stuff. None of that matters. Just the fucking parties. Fuck me. So 170,000 unavoidable deaths, says Slinkermeyer. Yeah, and of course, Theresa May, she made a great speech yesterday. Such a girl boss. Let's forget about the go-home vans and everything she did that led to fucking Windrush. Fuck this shit. Right. Also on this front page, passengers face years of masks on flights. Yeah, no shit. Gonzo Socialism, ignoring the Charter of UN Charter of Refugees, 1951, subsequent defeats in the court. Yeah, exactly. Inside migrant crossings in January 6 times higher than last year, reports Matt Dathan. Yeah, but they're not. The reporting of these numbers is a propaganda tool, and we know that, and they do it all the time. On page 3, glitterati go on Hollywood land grab. The rich and famous are buying out their Los Angeles neighbours to maintain privacy. So they can all enjoy the adrenochrome in private. Panic future. Fuck this shit, I say every morning as I wake up in Britain. Yeah. Gledster, I had the same rant to my missus yesterday, and the whole thing is, and this libs thing of like, oh, he broke the rules, but he broke the rules. Yeah, the system is fucking broken, and when you get rid and corrupt, and if you get rid of Boris Johnson, you just get the new person, and the new person will get the support of these papers again. Dick Pendra, another migrant crossing set a level to replace the COVID deaths yet? Nope. Gledstat, and so I wake up in the morning, I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? The Blurst of Time says, Liberals have a collective memory about 5 minutes. They're going to be hyping up Bojo when he butts heads with whatever Tory psycho becomes PM next. Yeah, and he'll be back having a newspaper column and all that stuff. Cutting VAT to ease energy bills puts the public finances at risk, is the claim. Bullshit. Primary school teacher accused of kicking horse will go on trial. Good. Police get more time to question United striker. Judge seeks Andrew's aide's testimony. Apps help sniff out missing dogs with database of snouts. Missing dog posters usually show fur colour and temperament, but a new app promises to find pets with a more basic feature, their snout. The Smart Snout app say it could be a better way of finding dogs. The app instructs owners to take a picture of their dog's nose and register details about themselves and their pet. Technology then registers the image and detects patterns and lines on the nose that are unique to each dog. Snout print. C122, H122. Tony Blair lied to Parliament for a war a lot worse than cake. Yeah. The Burnzoid, to be fair, you've got to be pretty brave, stupid to kick a horse. Gonzo Socialism, the UK is in a state of managed decline. Correct. Gonzo Socialism says, that's the thing, everyone thinks the system is broken, when in reality it's working exactly how the death cult set it up. Well, yeah, I mean, I phrased it that way, but what I mean is it's broken for the rest of us. It functions perfectly well for a certain strata of people. On pages 6 and 7, they didn't read the rules or just didn't think they applied to them. Yes, a big thing about how wonderful Theresa May is. And in the political sketch, Quentin Letts, the most unpopular man in Hobbiton, says, salty comments spat out an unwelcome taste. Oh, fuck off. Think about VAT being at 20% was supposed to be a temporary measure, but it's been more than a decade we've been living with one of the highest sales taxes in the world. I know, fucked. Yeah, it was supposed to be temporary, but this was what happens with laws across the board. Like, look at when they're talking about masks on planes coming in being permanent, right? It's like the liquids thing that was said to be brought in as a temporary security measure, or any of the post 9/11 terror laws that were meant to be temporary and have never gone away and will never go away because they're tools that they're very handy tools of control. Burnzoid, income tax was meant to be temporary, yeah. Johnson defies demands for heads to roll among Downing Street team. PM repeats conspiracist claim about Starmer. The Prime Minister accused Starmer of failing to prosecute Savile when the Labour leader was Director of Public Prosecutions. Yeah, well, I've got more to say about that soon. On page 11, Spotify condemned over cosmetic response in anti-vax row. Yeah, no shit. Banker wins £2 million after witch's hat insult. Let's see whether there was actually more going on here than the Times suggests. A high-flying city banker has been awarded more than £2 million for discrimination after drunk male colleagues left a witch's hat on her desk. The figure is one of the biggest awards by an English tribunal. I guarantee you it was not just because of that. Stacey Macken 50 sued the city office of BNP Paribas where after one boss allegedly belittled her by repeatedly saying, "Not now, Stacey," a phrase invoked so often that colleagues regularly copied it. There you go. It's not about the fucking witch's hat, is it? It's about a consistent campaign of sexist, misogynist belittling and bullying. But no, because this paper wants you to think, look at them getting a load of money. It's the Sun's equivalent. It's the Times doing its equivalent of the Sun talking about Compo. Fucking bullshit. Dick Pendleton is a Leeds United fan. I fight the war on terror. Thank you, Dick. Gonzo Socialism. The pensions triple lock has been removed until at least 2025, with the paperwork indicating it could be 2028. I don't think it's coming back. It's like the woman who sued McDonald's for the coffee spill. Yeah. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate. I think I need it. Woke disco charges straight white clubbers 6 times more. Oh, fucking hell. A club night organiser has been criticised for charging different prices according to race, gender and sexual orientation. A screenshot of the event's ticket prices was shared on social media and showed that people of colour identifying as queer, transgender or non-binary could enter at £16.80, while the price for straight cisgendered men was £112. Yet, could it be that they were making a point? The organiser, Pussy Palace, describes itself as an arts platform rooted in intentional nightlife celebrating black, indigenous and people of colour who are queer, intersex, trans or non-binary. It held an event called Signs on January 28th at the E1 nightclub in East London with a theme of celebrating you and your relationship with the universe. Ticket price list was shared on Twitter after the event and was criticised by users who thought the cost differences were discriminatory and immoral. One user said, "They don't have discrimination laws in the UK?" Oh, fucking hell. Play it again. Classic tunes and music to young ears. Young people are no longer cringing at their parents' music taste as golden oldies dominate streaming services and record purchases. Music data from Britain and the US shows people turning away from latest releases as people rediscover the music that is a year or more, often much more, past its release date. Old records. It's to do with catalogue. It's not. Oh my god. So much more complicated than that stupid angle. Blurst of Time says, fucking hell, what is this club? 1680 for entry alone is absurd. It's London though, isn't it? About turn on NHS staff, jabs creates worst of all worlds. That's the classic way. We are in the long 60s, I think, says Dick Pendrin. Young people don't buy music, streaming exists. Yeah, and then they're just talking about streaming and saying, oh, lots of old music is played on there. But it's complicated. It's to do with depth of catalogue. Young people, Dick Pendrin says, young people aren't real. Tortoiseshell pill will protect needle phobic. A type of pill inspired by a tortoise could be used to deliver coronavirus vaccines via capsule, scientists said yesterday. At present, the mRNA vaccines from Pfizer, BioNTech and Moderna are being used as boosters, must be injected into muscle, which can be a problem for people with a phobia of needles. A new pill from MIT may make inoculations and other treatments based on mRNA. A molecule used to encode genetic information, easier to swallow. The pill, about the size of a blueberry, has a flat underside. The upper part is a high, steep dome inspired by the shell of a tortoise. Just a tortoise is able to right itself when flipped. The capsule orientates itself so it stands upright inside the stomach. Its flat bottom resting downwards, facing the stomach lining. As the pill meets liquid in the gastrointestinal tract, a sugar substance inside begins to dissolve. After about 5 minutes, this releases a compressed spring, which releases a tiny needle that pushes the drug into the tissue of the stomach lining, which does not have pain receptors. To be honest, I would rather have it put into my arm than the tiny needle inside me, but there you go. Moving on, otters in decline raise fears over health of rivers. I think we know that there are no clean rivers in Britain at this point. Woman wins appeal against Cyprus rape lie conviction. This is very, very good things. And it turns out that the 12 Israeli men she accused could be charged and extradited. Michael Pollack, a barrister who runs Justice Abroad, the organisation that helped with the case, said the woman would seek a new investigation by a more experienced police force. Some of the men and boys involved in the incident are believed to have close connections with the Israeli establishment. One of their fathers is an advisor to the mayor of Jerusalem. He said on Israeli television at the time of the arrest that it had been an immoral act by the boys. Someone should have stopped it. He maintained, however, that his son was innocent as he had been in the next room. Yeah. Watson 87, I'd rather have a needle in my arm. That sounded horrifying. Yeah, the weird, like, mini little miniature pill needle. Johnson has promised the bare minimum, says William Hague, pretending that the rules count. Melanie Phillips continues with the completely horseshit presentation of the Kate Clancy story. This is, of course, the author of the book Some Kids I Taught and What They Taught Me, who complained that Goodreads reviews had falsely included quotes that were racist. Then it turned out those quotes were in her book, and then subsequently it's all gone to shit, and she's now saying she's been cancelled. I might cover this story in more depth at some point, but of course Melanie Phillips in here, and she makes it about her own cancellation. Melanie Phillips, of course, as yet uncancelled, still has a weekly column in The Times. Giles Corrin is a piece of shit and claims he's never heard a Neil Young or Joni Mitchell song. Of course, he is both you know, he's a massive liar, so there you go. Sarah Dighton is in here saying, beware the power of your online persona. It's just a whole annoying thing, but the real self-telling on yourself element of this is where she writes, I used a pseudonym for my first ventures onto forums. My initial excitement at the endless possibilities of this new identity turned sour when I realised that I was mostly using it to pick fights on knitting boards. Cut me loose from social pressure, and disappointingly, I didn't seem to be very nice at all. I think that says more about her than it does about anonymity. Rachology can't hear me above the sound of people yelling about being silenced. The Burnside says the whole Kate Clancy story is maddening. I knew Philip Pullman was lib-brained, but he really showed his arse over this. SK the Crusader says, yeah, anonymity has no bearing on beset behaviour, as he explained in his video. Do check out SK's video if you could drop it in the chat. C122H122 says, rob his car and joyride playing Rocking in the Free World. This is a good plan, and I endorse it. Fluff Weasel says, Phillips will always have a fan in Anders Breivik. Yes, that's Melanie Phillips, Anders Breivik's favourite columnist. Red Tick Seed would simply not pick fights on knitting forums. Maybe you would if your husband couldn't clean the toilet. Gledster, people on Facebook aren't anonymous and they're still vile. There's SK's video on anonymity. Do check that out. It's really good. Right, in the birthdays today, Sir John Knott, Conservative MP until 1983 and Defence Secretary until 1983 during the Falklands conflict, is 90. Lord Alistair Abernethy, the Senator of the College of Justice in Scotland until 2007, is 84. Kate Ashbrook, the General Secretary of the Open Spaces Society and Chairwoman of Ramblers till 2021, is 67. Dame Margaret Barber, Chairwoman of J. Barber and Son, is 82. Yannick Ballor, the Chairman and Chief Executive of Havas, a communications company subsidiary of the Ballor Group, is 42. Ben Broadbent, the Economist and Deputy Governor of the Monetary Policy of the Bank of England, is 57. Jocelyn Dimbleby, the cookery and travel writer, is 79. Christina Dodwell, the writer and explorer, is 71. Sherilyn Fenn, the actress, is 57. Wally Funk, the aviator, oldest woman to go to space, July 20th, 2021, and one of the Mercury 13, is 83. Sir Ian Gibson, the chairman of William Morrison Supermarkets till 2015, is 75. Katrin Jakobsdottir, the Prime Minister of Iceland, is 46. Dame Eleanor Lang, the Conservative MP for Epping Forest, Deputy Speaker and Chairwoman of the Ways and Means Committee, is 64. Laura Marling, the singer-songwriter, is 32. Charles Mayhew, the Chief Executive of Tusk Trust Conservation Charity, 61. Takashi Murakami, the artist, is 60. Lisa Marie Presley is 54. Graham Smith, the cricketer for South Africa till 2014, is 41. Princess Stephanie of Monaco is 57. Harry Styles, happy birthday to him, he's 28. Lord Roderick Oost, the Senator for the College of Justice in Scotland till 2021, is 71. Anne Wayman, the founder of Sex Education Forum and the Chief Executive of the Family Planning Association until 2008, is 79. In 1884, the first facile was published of what became known as the Oxford English Dictionary. In 1952, the first TV detector van was unveiled in the UK to track down users of unlicensed television sets. It didn't work. I'm just making that up. In 1984, the Chancellor Nigel Lawson announced the halfpenny coin, the halfpenny coin, would be withdrawn from circulation. Last word today comes from Langston Hughes, the American poet, from his poem I Too. I too sing America, I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Chronoserm says, happy birthday, Harry Styles, for being into older women. Yes. We endorse that here. And the Burnzoid, and I'm boiling all the wrong people's piss by wearing clothes. Yep. In the world news, Biden hostage deal offers the Taliban road to redemption. Gloves are off as Zemmour woos Le Pen's top team. Can they both lose? Shot police have pulled over poachers in Germany. 2 men were arrested yesterday over the fatal shooting of 2 German police officers who stopped a car in the early hours for a routine check. Ukraine refugees to arrive, says Poland. We're braced for 1 million. You're too tubby for takeoff. An airline pilot who won a seat on board a SpaceX flight was left insanely disappointed after he missed out because he exceeded the weight limit. And I'm like, sucks. City of the Dead awakens to the rumbling of Sisi's bulldozers in Egypt. Mandela clan flew over Robben Island. Cell key. Lawyer hunts down his sister's HIV killer. A Sicilian lawyer whose sister died of AIDS tracked down the man who infected her, and police then found he had infected 4 other women. Jesus. Posters pour scorn on China's PR blitz. Posters satirising China's attempts to gloss over human rights abuses will be put up in 3 Czech cities this week in a provocative gesture before the Beijing Winter Olympics. Notre Dame's new lead roof tests Parisian metal. They're not happy with it. Space fat phobia, yeah. Rate rises to certainty, say markets. US gripped by book banning frenzy in the school culture war. When is it not? Already failed at your new health goals. Try doing the bare minimum, say times 2. Again, already doing that, so yes. Cryptocurrency exchange operator based in Bahamas has been valued at $32 billion after a private fundraising. Can't wait for that to end up being discovered to be a massive scam. UK wouldn't cover up human rights abuses 50 years ago. Bloody Sunday happened. Yeah, no shit. Magic Dad. It's so good that China is the only country doing bad things. Yeah, imagine. Burnside. Yeah, they banned mouse in that school. Prince Andrew Romanov, artist, hash pipe salesman and descendant of the Tsar, who once polished off an Easter egg intended for his cousin Princess Elizabeth, has died. He was 98. Imagine in your obit that one of the bits in your obit is that you once ate a chocolate egg that the Queen wanted. He grew up in Frogmore Cottage, a guest house granted by George V. Norman Waterson, serene and unhurried Yorkshire-born folk singer with the Watersons, who was considered Britain's answer to Joan Baez. She has died. She was 82. And Lord Fern, the flamboyant Liberal Democrat MP for Southport, who saved town's pier from demolition and had a penchant for pantomime, has died. He was 90. Burnside, I hope my obit is just a list of all the chocolate I ate. Use of weapons, the one Romanov who didn't get blasted in a Yekaterinburg basement. Yeah. Sales of mouse have gone through the roof since that came out, so that's good. That is good. It's fantastic. And in the sport, Dele handed a fresh start by Lampard, Arsenal's £20 million gamble ditching Aubameyang, and Eriksen to play in a fortnight for Brentford, which is good sports news. Right, that was the Times, and we come finally to the Daily Mail. We have 10 minutes to do this. Can we do it? Of course we can. Of course we can. And in fact, we shall. Will the Daily Mail appear as a normal size or... No, huge. Some reason it's all 4 of these photos were taken at the same time, yet for some reason, what a curious, what a sad little life, Jane. Right, there we go. Inject me with poems, says C122H122. Huge mail in your area, says use of weapons. Yeah, rotate. There we go. All that this is proved in this episode is that I am capable of rotating PDF. Many had claimed otherwise, but they have been proven wrong. Right, there we go. Alright, front page of the Daily Mail. Wonder Jab could fight off all flu strains. Smart ways to age-proof your brain. Don't read the Daily Mail. That's number 1. Tip number 1. On the right-hand side, good health. People so scared of dentists, they haven't been for decades. I'd love to go to a dentist if there was any in my area that accepted NHS patients now. Main story now published. The whole damn thing is the Daily Mail's angle on the Grey Report. But don't worry, when the new Tory Prime Minister is installed, they'll get right behind them. And of course, they cover Rihanna's pregnancy because of course they do. On page 3, the Rihanna way to reveal a baby bump. Well-paid wives more likely to fake it in the bedroom. Chaps, if your wife or girlfriend earns more money than you, it might be time to sit down for a little chat. Not because there's anything wrong with the financial situation, because they may not be satisfied in the bedroom. Women who make more than their male partner are twice as likely to fake an orgasm, a study has found. Researchers put this down to trying to mitigate their partner's threatened manliness.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
What's true? Uh-huh. You've said that now, they'll believe that. Like, honestly, if your partner earning more money than you threatens your abstract idea of manliness, get a fucking grip. Use of weapons, this sounds like some very correlation does not equal causation thing. Yeah, fully that. This fucking what? Just do better. Gledster Mick, I know a woman in the Sun you could write to. Yeah. Page 4 and 5. Met's dossier of 300 party photos. Birthday bashes, dancing at Dom's demise, the 16 gatherings under scrutiny, Andrew Pierce's Wine Time Fridays that spilled into booze culture. Now this is interesting, right? Because they're going, every Friday evening this happened in Downing Street. But, of course, journalists didn't know anything about this till the tactical leaks late last year. Didn't know anything about it, apart from the fact that apparently it was a tradition since the Cameron era. The Burnzoid would be a house husband in a fucking instant. On page 6 and 7, I get it, I'll fix it, vows PM, but May sticks in the stiletto. Oh, the girl boss is at it. Henry Deed said she'd waited 2 years to go for his jugular and was in no mood to miss. Oh, fuck off. Use weapons. Dear Deirdre, the goblins who live in my chat are insulting my sexuality. I'm very happy with my sexuality. On page 8, yard in the dock over censorship shambles. SK says, I can't fucking stand Theresa May's Girl Boss Act. Yeah, I know. Theresa May for PMs is C122H122. On page 9, Stephen Glover, the most zombie-looking motherfucker in the British media, says Sue Gray should have ignored the Met and delivered us from purgatory. Instead, she just hoisted the white flag. Sue Gray is not your fucking hero. Is no one's hero. She is she's a long-standing establishment civil servant who just happens to have spent a career break running a pub in the Northern Irish Badlands. Curious, that, isn't it? Curious. The Burnzoid just needs his wife's Etsy shop to take off. Slinkermeyer is enjoying most of the rest of the world. Just know Theresa May is the funny walking white lady meme. Nice. Boris Johnson missed his call with Vladimir Putin. I'm sure Putin's gutted about that. Cara Delevingne says, I've got no plans to have children yet, but I'm already buying baby clothes. In a Harper's Bazaar interview. Outcry after Javid Axe's no jab, no job. Lawrence Fox is claiming he's treating himself with ivermectin. He's a fucking liar. Frost, I'll only be back if Boris spikes the hike. He can go fuck himself. Outnumbered actress 20 goes from pop it to punk. This Daily Mail being very weird about Ramona Marquez, who found fame at age 6 as Karen in the BBC comedy Outnumbered. They're shocked to discover that she's quite different now, that she's 20 years old, than she was when she was 6. It's a far cry from her appearance in Outnumbered. Yes, because she was a child.
They grew up so fast.
Yeah, in the 14 years since. Miss Marquez displayed a number of tattoos, including a dragon adorning her bicep. Displayed. She just fucking hasn't. Daily Mail, shocked by linear time, says use of weapons. Yeah. Person ages, more at 10, says Panic Future. Daily Mail being weird about a young woman, never. Yeah, imagine that. Andrew Neil writes, this was Game of Thrones without the dragons. If they had been included, Boris might have been burned to a frazzle. Oh, fuck off. Read another book and make it not 1984 or fucking Harry Potter. Just fuck off. Right, on page 17, bombs, Branner, and what I learned from the city hatred couldn't destroy, writes Richard K. Oh my fucking God. We're going to get a lot of this bullshit written about Belfast in the next few weeks. Please, God, stop. It's like Game of Thrones because it all ends in shit. The Burnzoid. Real life isn't like fictional books. Yeah, imagine. Richard Littlejohn says, think this is a mess. Imagine if Remain had won. It's just a variant on the imagine if Corbyn had won thing. Or imagine if it was communism. Like, think of the empty shelves we'd have. Just fuck off. Rachel is rereading Lord of the Rings. Blurst of Time. Sue Gray is our Robert Mueller, but somehow even more pathetic than the fawning liberal sycophancy which surrounded his similarly underwhelming report. Yeah, and the new thing is, oh well, this was only an update. When the real report comes out, what? How do you think you last as a senior civil servant known as a fixer who gets rid of lots of FOI requests? On this day, February the 1st, 2022, from the Daily Mail archive in 1957, Christian Dior celebrates the 10th anniversary of his first big fashion success today. It was his 20th collection and he was a very nervous man. 10 years is a long time to hold first place in the fashion jungle. At the end, the cheers, the applause and the bravos of his salon were deafening. February the 1st, 1965. The 8 coffin bearers at Sir Winston Churchill's funeral in London defied a ruling that they must transfer the coffin to 8 relief bearers halfway to Tower Pier. At the rehearsal, they proved they could shoulder the quarter-ton lead-lined coffin all the way. Guardsman Nigel Wright, 20, of Baltimore, Lincoln, said, We did not see any honour or glory in doing half the job. Happy birthday to Laura Marling, 32, and Michael C. Hall, 51. Oh, by the way, didn't know this. Laura Marling is the 3rd daughter of Baronet Marling. Fucking hell. Born on this day, Elizabeth Sladen died, born 1946, died 2011. She played Sarah Jane Smith, of course, in Doctor Who, and got her own spin-off series eventually. Sir Stanley Matthews, born 1915, died 2000. Footballer from Stoke-on-Trent, dubbed the Wizard of Dribble. Not the best nickname, is it? Quote of the day comes from Afra Ben, the English playwright. Love ceases to be a pleasure when it ceases to be a secret. Joke of the day. What do you do when you're addicted to seaweed? Seek kelp. That is, seek kelp. Sacked primary school teacher accused of cruelty after hitting and kicking horse. Andrew accuser to quiz former equerry. Mothers have it easier after divorce. It's hard to know whether to laugh or cry, says Beverly Turner. There's a whole career in writing about your divorce in the British media. Page 27, ex-Miss USA who was taunted online jumps to her death. Jesus Christ. The Daily Mail frames that target of the trolls. Of course, the Daily Mail would know nothing about that. Burnzoy says not the worst joke. Rachel, your reality, according to columnist, is sharp political minds playing 5D chess in the shadows. Yeah, pretty much. How the COVID surgery backlog is leaving thousands of new victims addicted to opioids. Yeah, well. Gotta get through this. The good health section is very long. Do you want an easy wear, easy care puffer gilet? Well, they're available. $19.99. Mine is in the bedroom. What the fuck is an equerry? A house person? It's like it's like a royal assistant. Great British Menu, 8 p.m. BBC 2. Toasted Tinsel's is on tonight as well. The Teacher got 4 stars last night. Great Cookbook Challenge with Jamie Oliver got 2 stars. When did body warmers become gilets? Gilets is just posh. It depends how posh you are, doesn't it? If you're not posh, it's a body warmer. If you are, it's a gilet. Garfield is just hanging out, living his life. Chloe and Co talking about men and not drinking in today's edition. And in Fred Bassett, he's hanging out with 2 little dogs he's having a play date with. Very cute. Okay, here is the poem. And then quickly through straight to the point and we'll be gone. Confessions of an Addict. I'm feeling super lately. I'm really at my best. It's due almost entirely to the good old NHS. They keep my tired limbs moving. They cannot do enough. I leave the chemist monthly with a big bag of stuff. Amalfidine, thioxine, disulfilac, ramipril, Antanol, losartan. I have nearly every pill. Aspirin and Simvastin, benzoflumethiazide. I can't pronounce the half of them, no matter how I've tried. I have an annual health review. The nurse is very sweet. She checks my every function from my head down to my feet. Cholesterol, blood pressure, as well as all my glands. She's absolutely lovely, absolutely thorough, with lovely, soft, warm hands. Jesus Christ. She measures me and weighs me and tells me every year, you're a wee bit overweight, try wine instead of beer. I'm feeling super lately. The reason is, you see, the many pills I'm popping are absolutely free. Oh, Jesus. And the limerick today comes from Bethan Morgan, who writes, Science has taken a leap since the cloning of Dolly the sheep. There are now piggy parts to replace broken hearts and onions that won't make us weep. Oh, the poems are so dark. That poor nurse. Right, straight to the point letters. David Kirkwood says, anyone who puts evacuating dogs before people is barking. Peter Rickaby says, no wonder crime figures continue to climb when Scotland Yard's finest sleuths require weeks of intense investigation to determine who ate a cake. Jim Brown says, while Boris was having his birthday cake party with 30 staff, I was at a funeral of my best friend. Mourners were limited to just 7, sitting in separate rows. David Pitt says, poor Adele is so distraught after the cancellation of her last Vegas shows, she's written her next album. Name and Address Supplies says, the Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. Andrew makes do with 72 teddy bears. Haha. Mrs. D. Dobson says, it's only Whisper chocolate bar. It's not only Whisper chocolate bars that are shrinking. A pack of pods for my coffee machine has been reduced from 16 to 12 for the same price. Jennifer Davis says, now that's what I call fine acting. Starring in new drama series Responder, Martin Freeman conveys every emotion. TJ Hickman says, surely Oti Mabuse can find the time in her busy schedule to do a little thing like running the country. End poems. These poems are always dark. Today's recipe is red pepper and anchovy spaghetti. I mean, it looks fine. They're advertising some corduroy trousers, very ugly. And in the sport, Mason Backlash. United withdraw Greenwood merchandise. Nike suspend sponsorship. Fans return number 11 shirts. And Everton land Dele for free. Spurs net only £10 million if he plays 20 games. That is the Daily Mail. Thank you for watching today. Do give me your scores for that. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Slinkamai goes in with a centuple negative nice for the Daily Mail. Thank you. C122, H122. We're always good to see you. Whew. I have a drink now. And yes. Cheers, Burnzoid. Quadruple negative nice for all the papers, says Red Tick Seed. Learn more about PDFs at C122, H122. Cheers, Panic Future. Thank you, Fluff Weasel. Use of weapons minus my balls for all of them. Cheers, Lingamire. Cheers, Heathmore. Alright, bye-bye. See you tomorrow.